Only one of that trio looked like an international class forward, and it was Anthony Gordon. Well, hello again from St James's Park. Yeah, after what's been for me 10 days or so of gallivanting around Europe. Links to that video, by the way, in the description below. A lot of Newcastle United chat, but also some communist tower blocks, Turkish souks selling football strips, and a little bit of late night espionage as well. So yeah, please click on that after this one if you do wish. But yeah, today for Newcastle United, 4-1 against Chelsea, and ahead of what is going to be a massively testing Champions League trip to Paris Saint-Germain on Tuesday. What did Newcastle need here today? Well, yeah, just a routine Saturday 3 o'clock victory against lowly opposition. Even if that was opponents who have spent over £1 billion and had £200 million worth of talent on the bench in the form of just 2 players alone. Newcastle, by comparison, well, I worked out their bench was worth £16 million. I'd written in copy that they had academy graduates on the bench. Well, on reflection, they're not even graduates, they're still at the academy, so that showed how depleted they were. We'll come on to that more in just a moment. I'll also bring you my merit stars later. What a wrestle that was. Honestly, I think you guys, some might agree, I think a lot might disagree. That's a good thing though, because there were so many candidates. It was a competitive field today, and us guys downstairs have just been arguing amongst ourselves as to who Newcastle's best performer was for the Sunday papers. Now, also downstairs, Mauricio Pochettino has just launched an extraordinary rant against his team. It was from my question. I don't know if my face upset him or the tone of questioning upset him. It was all fairly innocent, but anyway, I'm not really bothered because he gave us a brilliant answer, and has given us guys writing for the Sunday papers a very strong, what we call a quote story. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see his words on 1 or 2 back pages tomorrow. He's called his players soft. He said they didn't compete mentally or physically. They were soft in every challenge. He went on and on and on. I had a list, we had to count that up actually afterwards. He said he was very, 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 and then he chucked another one in, very angry with that performance. Now, he also said that he didn't think Newcastle were great. I don't think he meant that as a slight on Newcastle. I think he meant more. They didn't have to be great. I think that's a little harsh, because I think a lot of the errors, a lot of Chelsea's errors were brought about by Newcastle's energy, their intensity, their pressing, their intent, their want to win, their will to win. And I thought they set the tone almost from the off. I thought until the point of, and we'll just revisit, we'll just go through the game. I know some people like to know what's happened, and I'm not going to break down every kick and cough and splutter, but Newcastle started well. I thought, and again, this will come back to my conversation on who was the star man. I thought Miguel Almiron almost set the tone from the off. Now, in the first 15-20 minutes there, including Alexander Isak's opening goal on 13 minutes, I was sat there, and I always, I like to try and reflect on what my instincts were at the time, and I thought Newcastle are going to win this. Now, 2 weeks ago against Bournemouth, you watched it there, and within the same passage of time, you thought Newcastle will lose this. I honestly think even if this game had been 2 weeks ago, Newcastle would have got beat. The 2-week break has done them the world of good. Listen, they've lost more players in that time. Lewis Hall wasn't available today. Joe Willock, I'll bring you more news on him in a minute. He was gone as well. So again, really, in terms of numbers, it was depleted, but they just looked mentally refreshed. They looked like a completely different side right from the off. Alexander Isak gives them the lead. I honestly thought during the first 10 minutes, I don't know if you agree, Isak looked a little bit rusty. There's one where Bruno drops it into his path. You think, volley it, and he doesn't. There's another one where Anthony Gordon plays the through ball. Isak just doesn't read him. You think, you look a little bit rusty here. Well, there was nothing rusty about his gleaming finish. Yeah, I'm taking words right out of my match report here. Please read on that link below as well. And Louis Miley's through ball, wow. Isak's finish is good. It owes everything to the through ball. Louis Miley wouldn't have played today if Joe Willock doesn't injure his Achilles in training yesterday. He came in, and the biggest compliment, I can play him, anyone can play him, and he said it afterwards as well. He doesn't look like a 17-year-old, he doesn't act like a 17-year-old, he doesn't play like a 17-year-old. In the summer, out in Atlanta, remember, I did a video afterwards, and I said that Louis Miley had bossed £106 million Enzo Fernandez. 4 months on, he's done exactly the same here today. I thought Miley was brilliant. It's his lovely, cute ball for Isak for the first goal. Now, it looks miles offside, so then in the second half, at the Gallagher end there, there's Jamal Lascelles' header. I always think it's a sign of a bad team Chelsea, when you're conceding goals that look offside and you watch the VAR, you watch the replay back and you say, oh no, you were just unmarked. Not offside, just unmarked in the goal mouth. And that's what it was for Chelsea. I thought they were awful at the back. I thought they made Rishi Sunak look like a competent tradesman, really. If you haven't seen the video of our Prime Minister using a hammer this week, please go back and watch it somewhere. It's hilarious. But yeah, they made him look relatively competent, like I say, by comparison. The defence there, their defence was, it was shocking. It really was. But again, you know, Newcastle made them that by their movement and their intent and their energy. Nonetheless, okay, Newcastle's in control. It's self-inflicted. Jamal Lascelles gives the ball away. Kieran Trippier trips Sterling. I thought Sterling's free kick into the top corner, I thought was brilliant, to be fair to him. It's an excellent goal. You get to half time. They've traded chances a little bit then before the break, and we're downstairs at half time. This could go either way here. It felt like a bit of a body blow for Newcastle. Chelsea getting that equaliser. Come out in the second half. By the hour, 61 minutes, the game is over. The second goal, Gordon's brilliant cross. It's a fantastic cross, by the way. Again, Jamal Lascelles, oceans of space, heads it in, redeems himself for the early mistake. All VAR confirms is how bad Chelsea are at defending. The third goal within a minute, Joe Linton. Now, Joe Linton played like an angry man at times today, and I think that was because of perhaps his sending off, very harsh sending off during the week for Brazil against Argentina. Bruno was another one as well who played with a bit of spite and a bit of fight today. Again, he was part of that defeat. Brazil's first ever World Cup qualifying home defeat, I'm told, which is quite remarkable. Anyway, Brazil's loss has been Newcastle's gain. So there you go. Joe Linton takes it off Thiago Silva. Quite what he's attempting with the back pass that travels 2 yards. I don't know. Joe Linton goes through. It's 3-1. And the fourth goal is Anthony Gordon, laid on by Miguel Almiron. Lovely little ball through the outside. Balashiri comes across to defend. I say that, you know, in the loosest sense of the term. I think I put in my match report, he was wearily wandering over to close the curtains before bedtime. There was just no energy, nothing there at all from him, really, which was, you know, symptomatic of Chelsea's performance. But nonetheless, Gordon puts it away, 4-1, game over. And Eddie's just said to us afterwards there, that was right up there with the very best victories of his time here, given all the circumstance around it in terms of the bench, you know, the nature it was, 3 goalkeepers, and the misfortune they've had with injuries. Now, I would go along with that. I thought that day, it's still a strong 11, don't get me wrong. I still think it looks like a strong 11, which could be named as an 11 on, you know, even with everybody fit. But they knew there was nothing really beneath on the bench, and to that end, to put in the performance they did, I just thought they were tremendous. Takes Newcastle up to 6th. I think they're only 5 or 6 points off top as we speak now. There's another game going on now. This takes me on to my merit marks, and I'm not going to put them all on screen at once. For suspense, I'm going to drip feed it. 3 stars goes to Anthony Gordon. Yeah, now this was a toss-up, honestly, with a guy who got 2 stars. But 3 stars for Gordon, and I think his contribution in terms of the goal he scores and the one for the second, which was hugely important. He lays on with that cross. That's what tips him in front. But from the off, you know, wow, I go back to what I said in America. I said this was going to be a big season for him. I had him as my surprise package, in a way, surprise, given that he wasn't great last season. He's gone beyond that, you know. Every week now there's no surprise in what he's doing. The guy is just fantastic. And I want to make this point. I've been away with England. I'm going to be covering England going forward there. The past week, Cole Palmer was a debutant while I was away, and Raheem Sterling was talked about a lot, and a player who can't get in the squad. They were both playing there today. Well, one of them for me looked like this including Gordon in the conversation, yeah, Gareth Southgate admitted to us was on the fringes. Only one of that trio looked like an international class forward, and it was Anthony Gordon. I thought the worst out of the lot was Cole Palmer. Now, I've liked a lot of what I've seen of Palmer so far. I thought today there he was anonymous. I thought he was poor. I thought he was poor. It was his ball which he's overcooked back to Silva, which he then takes the heavy touch ahead of the back pass for the third goal for Joe Linton. To be fair, I thought Sterling was their best player. I thought he was dangerous at times on the break. He scores a brilliant free kick, but nonetheless, you know, not in the same class as Anthony Gordon. 3 stars for him. 2 stars, Miguel Almiron, and I've pronounced that right. I know there's one user who pulls me up every time. Yeah, come on, we'll give it another go. Miguel Almiron. Okay, and I just thought, For a team who comes into a game with every excuse not to be added or to perhaps hold a little back, big game on Tuesday, all the rest of it, I thought he set the tone from the off. He was everywhere. He buzzed around Chelsea. He was here in front of us when he was meant to be on the right. He was through the centre. He was on the right. He was on the left. He was everywhere. I thought he was fantastic. That continued into the second half. It's his through ball for Gordon, as was just touched on. And for a player who missed a little bit of training at the start of the international break, I thought he really set, I just thought he set the tone. That's the phrase I've used. He set the tone for the energy and intent. And I wanted to give him 3 stars. I did, but Gordon's contribution ultimately in terms of the goal and the other assist has just tilted it. And 1 star, I had to split this between Bruno and Louis Miley. Miley, for all the reasons I've just touched on, didn't look like a 17-year-old. Absolute class, composure. He will come into the England conversation soon enough. He's only 17, of course, but you know, give it a few years, no doubt he will elevate through the ranks here at Newcastle and ultimately onto the international stage. And Bruno, you know, a lot of travelling, a bit of a bruising game during the week against Argentina, but that was, he's only got 1 star there, and it's arguably one of his best performances of the season. He's recovered from that slow, sort of sticky start that he had at the campaign. I thought he was just aggressive, bitey, never wasted the ball. I thought he was brilliant there. You know, other mentions, Joe Linton, Lascelles, the way he's recovered from the mistake. Livramento and Trippier were good without having really to be brilliant because they weren't up against a great deal. Have I left anyone out? Isak, great goal, did well. You know, really encouraging comeback from him. They're going to have to watch him. You know, bearing in mind Wilson's out for probably another 3 to 4 weeks. We think they're going to have to watch and mind Isak. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he didn't start on Tuesday at Paris Saint-Germain. Now, missing when Newcastle go to Paris on Tuesday, Joe Willock. Sadly, he's suffered a recurrence of an Achilles injury, and Eddie's just said to us downstairs there that he doesn't know how long he's going to be out for. They're going to have to seek a specialist opinion. That, to me, given it's an Achilles as well, seems like it could be a long one. And wow, what a blow that is. A player would come back into the team, and I've spoken about him a lot before. You know, I think we use that word energy, don't we? The energy he brings to the midfield is so important. I think that is another huge loss. Now, that apart, that's really the only negative to emerge from this weekend for Newcastle, because Eddie couldn't have been more full of praise for his players downstairs just now. His only other worry was whether the word disjointedness actually existed in the English language. Yeah, he gave that answer, and then I wondered whether it was actually a word. It is. I can confirm that. As I was typing it, there was no little red squiggly line. I confirmed that to Eddie afterwards, and he was most pleased that his English was sound, and so are a lot of his English players as well. You know, Miley, Gordon. I just think Gareth Southgate should be sat up there every week at the moment. Even Jamal Lascelles, when you look at the problems England have got at centre half. But anyway, that's a different discussion for a different day. Right now, we are very much back to domestic matters and club European matters on Tuesday. And going to Paris, as I say, they haven't had a grueling one out there today. They've played very well and they've applied themselves perfectly, Newcastle, but they'll have a little bit left in the tank for Tuesday. And again, we roll on there. I'll have a preview video on Monday from the Parc des Princes. Newcastle are training this time in Paris, which I think is important. I think they've missed a little bit of a trick, not training in Milan and Dortmund. They will train in the stadium on Monday. I'll have a video from there, and then again on Tuesday night. Another brilliant week coming up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Yeah, that's the third one in the YouTube trilogy we are told to remember and promote. But yeah, all the links below to my Daily Mail copy, Mail on Sunday, match report, videos as well. Like I say, the video from the past 10 days I've had away in London, whether it be North Macedonia, Turkey as well, has been great fun. So yeah, guys, take care. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.